Welcome back to my channel. This is Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts. Welcome back to the Filet Crochet Mystery Crochet Along Part 3. And today you're going to see the reveal and I'm so excited about it. So you made in Part 1 the bottom part of this project. In Part 2 you made the top part of this project. You also learned how to do the 3 double crochet filet crochet in Part 1 and you learned how to finish it in Part 2 as well as learning about positive and negative images. But what are we actually making? Well, there's a few different things, and just like all my other filet crochet projects you have probably seen lately, you can see that you can do a lot of customization on the project. So my intent is to finish it up like a little drawstring pouch, but it doesn't mean you have to make one like that. Be creative. You can totally make it into anything you want. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to flip this over like so, and now you can see more what this actually is, right? You probably already guessed it. It's a butterfly. And then I'm going to sew the bottom together. I'm going to sew the sides together. Optionally, you can also add a lining. It's very easy, just putting 2 pieces of fabric together, sew them all the way around, and then sew them to your project. That way you can see your image a lot better. I may keep mine without a lining this time because it's really cool to be able to see what I put inside. So I'm going to use mine for a little project that I use, and I can see my yarn through the filet crochet pieces right here, and I know exactly what project I have on the inside. I'm also going to add a drawstring through here, and I'm going to use an I-cord. You can use a crocheted I-cord or a knitted I-cord. I like to use my little tulip knitting machine to create an I-cord, and then I'll just weave it through, and then I can pull it when I want to close it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to make a bag too. You can turn this into a shoulder bag if you like, over the shoulder, and then add some lining to it so you can actually use it. In fact, you can even make the bag bottom a little bit stronger. So what does that mean? If you sew this together right here, and then you take the corners and push them to the inside so you have a triangle on the inside, and then you sew that triangle together, you actually turn the bottom into an actual bottom, not just a line, right? Right now this is a line, but you can turn it into like more of a flat bottom by pushing the triangles here, the corners inward. It's very hard to show right now when this is not sewn, so I'll show it to you a little later. And then sew the triangles onto your project and add some kind of plastic canvas inside, so that way you have a sturdy bottom. You can also turn this into a book cover. If you have a large book, I may recommend not having the open mesh over here. So if you still have your yarn not woven in, you can totally take it out and make this into closed mesh. And if you have a giant book like that, you can totally make this into a book cover. In that case, you would obviously need a little bit more here. So you would need another flat little piece here and a flat little piece here, so that you actually have something where you can put your book into. I personally think it's also a great pouch for a book, where you can slide your book in and then you're good to go, right? It would be a great little pouch for a Bible of some sort, or a project book that you're working on, or an ebook that you printed out, whatever you like. It's a great little pouch for that. But again, you don't have to make a pouch. You can totally make it into something else. In fact, you can even turn this into a small pillow if you like. If you make another one like this and have maybe the top also closed mesh, and you put it together, you have a small little rectangle pillow. That works also. That's a great idea as well. There's so many different things you can make with just a rectangle. So keep your imagination open and wild, and think about what you're going to turn your little project into. Mine is going to turn into a little drawstring pouch. So let me show you how mine looks like in the end once I have sewn this together and once I added my drawstring. Let me show you. And my final project looks like this. It is a pouch that has a drawstring that you can pull like this, and you have it together like that, and you can simply open it back up very easily. As I said, I used my tulip knitting machine, which is handy dandy to create very quickly I-cords in a snap pretty much, and it's really fun, and it's a great thing that I believe everyone should have at home, even though it's knitting and not crocheting. I get it, but you can totally also crochet one if you like. Those are usually thinner anyways. This one is a little bit more thicker, but I just love the look at it, so I use those. And I sewed all the way around on this side, so it's like an L shape that I sewed, right? This part was already folded, so it looks like this now. But I did want to show you, if you want to turn this into a flat bottom, not a lined bottom, like where it's just one line, then here's what you do, okay? You're going to flip it inside out, and you're going to take your corners, okay? Make sure you push them, well, in, out, however you want to call it, where it's up, inside out, right? So once you have it inside out, you're going to take your corners, like really nudge them, okay, like this, and then you're gonna fold it into triangles, okay, however big you want. So the bigger the triangle, the wider the bottom will be, right? So I would suggest about this, and you're gonna do that on both sides like so, and you're going to sew the triangle to the what is now the bottom, right? I do recommend having some kind of probably like a plastic canvas or some sort on top. If you have it like this, I'm gonna just use here some stitch markers to show you how it would look like on the other side. So this is how it would look like, right? So if you would sew this triangle onto what is now the bottom, it would look on the other side like this. It would make the side a little bit shorter, so keep that in mind, but it would look like this. So you now have a little bit of a side as well, and it would make it a little bit shorter like this, so keep that in mind, depending on how big the triangle is. But you would now have a bottom, right? You can feel here's where the triangles are, so you wouldn't see this gap here because that would be sewn on, right, like this. But then you would add some kind of plastic canvas on the bottom, and then you have an actual solid bottom. So here I just put some yarn into it so you can kind of see how this looks like, right? And you can still see the butterfly shape, and you can totally add something else to it, you know, like beautify your project. You can totally add maybe here some embroidery on it. You can add like a flower. You can you know, glue something on if you like. You can add a button over here, however you want. Beautify your project, make it your own. You can also, here's another really fun project. You can take your butterfly, right, and you can weave yarn through here, or use it as, like, think of it as a cross stitch project, and you can make X's right here, right, like sew them on and turn this entire thing into a colorful project. So let's say you're using, I'm just going to pick the color blue, and you're making like X's over here, right? It may not work for everything. You can also just weave it through however you like, or you can use surface crochet and just, you know, make lines through it just to make the butterfly pop a little bit more. That is up to you, but typically filet crochet is done like this. There's just one color, or you use variegated color, which is fine as well. And you have open mesh and you have closed mesh in order to create this beautiful project, or any filet crochet project. Speaking of many filet crochet projects, we're going to talk to more and more about them, and about different types of filet crochet and what else you can do. So be sure to join our filet crochet party, which happens tomorrow. If you are watching this on the publication of this video, it will appear shortly here on the right side as a link, and you can click on that. It is a really fun party all about filet crochet, so be sure to watch it. And I want to see your final projects, because during the filet crochet party, I'm going to announce 3 winners that finished their projects and posted their pictures to my group called Crocheting with Nikki with the corresponding hashtag. So be sure to post your images and join the filet crochet party. I am super excited for that, and you're going to see what other projects you can make with filet crochet. Get ready for it. It's gonna be a blast. I am so excited. So I'll see you there. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. You're gonna want to, I promise you do.